we did some things well. I think also that our level of energy, we drop a little bit. And when our team drop a little bit the energy, you can feel it. We can play well, but it's not in full power. But my feeling is that the players really tried. And they tried during the week and they tried today. In the past, if we had this kind of bad 5 minutes and we suffered 2 goals, we didn't recover. Today is a different feeling. You can sense that we could not win this game, but we are not going to lose, and that is a feeling that a big team sometimes have to have. We had a big opportunity to win in the end, but we drop. My feeling is we dropped 2 points here and should have done better.
The positive, as you mentioned, is the resilience, I suppose, that the team has built over the last 12 months, not just today, but maybe recent weeks as well. How has the team been able to build that?
Yeah, it's how to do it. It's not. I think last year we suffered a lot, and we want to win games and to overcome these moments. But now we know how to do it, and they know that we just need to be inside the game until the final 10 minutes of the game, and that is part of football. In the past, we could lost everything in the positions, the way we played the game. Today was not. The feeling was not that one. So I think we are improving in that aspect. Again, we did some things right, but also the good thing is that we have potential to play so much better, and that is the goal.
You kind of already answered my question a little bit, but do you feel like if that game had happened last season that you would have lost it?
Yeah, for more goals, I think. That is my feeling.
And that resilience that you're talking about, where is that coming from? How is that being?
It's the confidence, of course, is completely different. We came from 3 good games, and we have a different confidence. We understand better each other. We talk more about this, that the football is like and we proved this year. We can have bad moments, but suddenly we have 3 good games. So football is like that, and a game is like that also. We have good moments, we score. You can sense that we are in control of the game when the first half finish. We start the second half and we suffer. We disconnect for 5 minutes, and that's enough in Premier League. But we managed to recover from that, and that is a good feeling.
Sorry, Ruben. What was the thinking about your substitutions in the second half? Like sometimes you will make 5 changes. Today it was only 2, and it was 2 defenders coming on in essence.
Yeah, sometimes it's not. If you put more strikers, I don't feel that we are going to play better. If you see Dalot, many times Dalot has the ball with space to make the cross, but his right foot is always inside without space. The only thing is, Patrick, you are going to do the same thing when you have the ball. Go to the side and cross, the space is there. Because if you want to come inside, Cunha is there always to receive the ball. Nus, if you see the end of the second half, Lenny was the guy always with space to run with the ball, and Nus is a fullback, so we try to use the characteristics of the players. And then it's not the quality, because we have a lot of quality on the bench, but sometimes I had the feeling if I'm going to stop the game all the time, I'm going to break something. And I think we were improving during the second half. So my feeling was I'm not changing anything in the guys in front. We have the talent there, maybe, and I know that Ahmad can do so much better, but I know that Ahmad 1-against-1 is really dangerous. So sometimes we just expect that one guy that is not doing a great game can change the game for us. He managed to score, but again, we have potential to do so much better, and we lost 2 points today.
Ruben, I understand what you're saying, but if you're Kobe Mainu or Joshua Zirkzee sat on the bench and you feel you can do something in the game and you just sit there, how does that make them feel, and how do you deal with it?
No, I could do the same thing if Kobe Mainu or Mason Mount was there also. Kobe Mainu, Josh, and then you have to imagine the game. Josh is better. It's like a little bit like Cunha playing between the lines. And if you see the game, we have a guy that needs to be inside the box, and Ben is the best one to do that. Sometimes it's the characteristics of the games, and they know that is something. It's just a moment. We try to do our best. It's nothing to do with the quality that we have on the bench. And you have a lot of games that happen.
Ruben, those 2 goals you conceded in that short space of time, is that an example of why you just won't get carried away as a manager, and a sign that defensively there are still those weak moments that as a team you need to address in the league? I mean, both goals were quite disappointing, really, defensively.
That is because of everything. I understand the momentum of our team. Nothing it changed radically from the last weeks. Just the confidence and the results. The way you see our team is different, but the way I see the potential of the team in the moment that we are doesn't change. So it's my job to try to maintain the team balance. And then if you see the first goal is a gamble. I want Ahmad playing in that position, but he's not the best one to defend cross. So I think we are better if we press high, if you have more guys in front to control better the games. If I have a different guy there, maybe we could defend better that. Then it's a gamble. And we try to do that, changing the characteristics game by game. But it's not just about the defensive aspect. It's also the moment of the team and the moment of our club.
Last question for Carl.
Mr. Amorim, on Thursday you spoke a little bit about how your team varies, the difference in energy when they play away from home versus at home. Did you think that energy dip was because you were playing away from home?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it is. If you play nowadays and you were there, if you play at Old Trafford, you can feel the vibe, and that can help us in certain moments. We need to regain that feeling of a big team that doesn't matter the environment. We can control everything, but we are not there. But also, if you see the big teams also in our big teams, also other big teams in our league, they are more comfortable playing at home. So that is normal. What we need to do is to put that energy, and sometimes it's harder to put away, but we need to push from ourselves that energy, because our team needs to play in full energy to be really, really good. If we drop a little bit, you can feel it, even seeing the team.
You've spoken a lot about confidence. Now, do you think your team is just more confident when they play at home?
Yeah, I think it's just the sound of the first plays when Ahmad has one transition, and you saw so many transitions today when they bounced the ball. When you play at home, you feel the vibe of our crowd. So that's why Old Trafford is so important for us, especially in this moment. Thank you, guys.
Okay, Dan, when you're ready.
Thanks, Randy. Evening, Sean. What was your overriding feeling after that game and result?
Well, I was pleased and proud of the players' performance. To come out of the Bournemouth game, which is a flat one, and come in here and at home with the fans here and the noise of the fans and all that. But then you got to deliver, and I thought we did for the most part. First half more with the ball and you know, trying to open them up. And second half, because I know you're going to ask me about the obvious, and then second half, you know, more on a containing basis, which I'm okay with that because there's a bit of nervousness. Can you get that first win? So it's hard to keep playing free and open when they're just edgy a bit, which is, I imagine, you know, there would be because you're searching for that big win. Excuse me. But we looked defensively really strong, I thought. You know, I don't think they opened us up much, not big chances. And then, unfortunately, the lad hits one great strike. You know, is he impeding the keeper's view and all that? But I don't know. I mean, that's for the powers that be. But now you can ask me the inevitable.
Well, I'm guessing you want to know, or you want to be asked about United's first.
Well, I'm surprised if that wasn't one of your first questions. You can ask what you want, but I'd be very surprised if that wasn't on the end of your lips.
It was. I wanted to warm you up first, but yes.
Well, the thing is that, you know, 2 weeks on the trot, which is bizarre in itself. Similar but different, obviously. The last one was a clear mistake, which I got booked for. I still agree with that. How on earth I get booked for an actual mistake, proven, is bizarre. And then today, I just can't understand it. You know, you're an assistant referee, you're 70-odd yards away. You've got a goal and a net in the way, but apparently you can see. I've got a better view and I'm not in the right position. So that's got to be wrong, you know, in the current climate. The thing that annoys me the most, I'm a big fan of VAR. That's like, someone's got to be able to overrule these decisions just really quickly. That'll be 5 seconds. You just go, you know, that's in play. And it's deemed out of play and they whack it in, they score a goal. 2 weeks on the trot. Now, of course, you can say, well, you've got to deal with the corner, but the point is it shouldn't even be that. So that's really difficult. And then to give my reasoning behind it, which I think is more important, because obviously people say, oh, yeah, but it's only just over the line. Sorry, just on the line. Well, it's on the line. So imagine a goal scored, you know, with the watch when it beeps or vibrates for the ref. Well, what do? You've seen it. You've all seen it. You know, the cyclists have it. It's like 1 millimetre. And they say, well, it hasn't gone over the line. So how can you see that from 78 yards away? For me, that's 5 seconds of VAR. And they got, you know, the refs talking to people and all that, waste time, walking over the screen. We all know that waste time. It's like pointless. And they got about speeding up the game. But big decisions like that would, for VAR, for someone to override that decision, be 5 seconds. They'd look and go, bang, that's it, done. Wrong decision. That's it. So that's really, really frustrating 2 weeks on the trot. I know it's an unusual stat to have that to happen. Of course, I'm aware of that. Chances are very slim, but it has happened. With all the technology and all that's at stake, particularly for us at Nottingham Forest Football Club after the start the club's had, that's a big moment, you know, and all of a sudden that goes against you. And that's very, very frustrating when it could be really easily cleared up for me.
Simon?
Hey.
I appreciate what you're saying, but do you really think it would be 5 seconds? I mean,
well, okay, that's fair. Be 6. No, but if someone, if you know.
But you know what it's like.
Right, there are all these rules and IFAB and which I understand, right? There has to be rules. But surely there's a bit of common sense when someone just goes, hang on a minute, that's you know, that's an assistant seeing that from 78 yards away. But someone's got a monitor there who can just go, bang, that's it, bang, decision done. They shouldn't have to look at that 300 times because I've seen it from one view. And I've seen it from one view and it is pretty conclusive. And here's one for you. We've all seen this. What about when players take a corner now in the quadrant? We all just sit there. Sure, I can see it from 75 yards away that it's not in. Do you know what I mean? But he apparently can see it through a goal net, through the goal line, through the players, through the posts. It's impossible. And we all see it on the quadrant where the ball is hanging over the quadrant by 1 millimetre and they say, well, no, it's in the quadrant. Do you get my point?
Well, I do get your point, but I just think, in my experience, 5 seconds...
The ball's in play, as simple as that. Well, no, but that's another conversation. I'm exaggerating maybe, but for me, that's all right, it's 10 seconds. The point is, it ain't 3 minutes. You don't need 3 minutes of looking at that. It's a very simple moment. And last week was an incredibly simple moment, factually a wrong decision. That can't last week must take 5 seconds. You just go wrong, tell the ref wrong, that's it, end of. Surely. Because there's a lot of stake in these games. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of stake. So just get it right. We all want it right. Every fan wants it right. But anyway, look, it's gone against us again. We just have to get on with it. Simple as that. And you know the worst thing as well? I've been back in the game for 3 games. I'm talking about 2 weeks on the trot talking about referees and decisions. That is really frustrating. I don't want to be talking about this, do I? I want to be talking about my team. My team have done great in 2 of them performances. Porto, this performance, I think, of really solid performances, really good. A lot of individuals played great. And that's what I want to be talking about, but unfortunately I can't because it's cost us.
You might like this question then, Sean. United obviously got very experienced midfield, but Elliot Anderson I thought was outstanding today. What have you made of him situationally? How good can he be?
Yeah, so after the Porto game, he's got to learn the nuts and bolts positionally, but he's a very good player. He deals with the ball well. He's got a really good attitude. I like him. He's got that nice nature about him. He moans a lot, but I've already slaughtered him about that. We'll get that out of him. But he moans in a good way. He's a really good player. And like I say, learning as he goes about the Premier League, positional, like I say, the nuts and bolts of it. But he's a very good player. I thought Callum did a great job, especially second half, defensively, working inside to outside and still causing trouble. Morgan's worked really hard again and he nicks himself a goal. Dan's learning. He a few mistakes at the end, but I thought Dan was working really hard, and Igor's learning about the Premier League. We've got injuries and all the rest of it. So some really good signs. I thought defensively we looked really solid. I know it sounds mad when you see 2. We've gone through one of them, but I thought generally we were solid. Lots of good performance. Sav's only still young. He played 20 games, I think, before he's come here. He's a young man earning his spurs. These things have all got to be developed quickly. A lot of the players they bought are younger players. They might have paid big fees, but they haven't got a massive depth of experience in football and the Premier League especially. So we're having to fast track everything, but there's some really good signs. 2 out of 3 performances are really, really strong performances, I think, and certainly performances I think can bring more wins.
Just one thing also, actually. Obviously, you talked about the defence, how they played well, but there is one stat that predates you that they've now won 18 games without a clean sheet, which is the worst record in the top.
Is that including the Porto game or?
No, in the league.
Oh, in the league, sorry, yeah.
Is that anything that concerns you?
No, what it is, I said this week, I said, look, when I spoke to the owner, I said, look, we haven't got magic wand, we haven't got magic dust, this is a process, which he understands, and I can't change everything. There's other stats the team, I said in the media, just to bring a bit of reality to the turnaround, is it 16 games, 13 goals before we came in, or before the league, before we came in, It's not like it's just you flick switching it all, win 10 on the trot, I hope we do, but it's not normally like that. There's a lot to be done here. There's a lot of the end of last season wasn't going that way, you know what I mean? It was slowly drifting a little bit. Still a great season, just to be clear. Fantastic season, actually, for this football club. But it was drifting a little bit. Pre-season, hardly score goals in pre-season. And then go in season, hardly score goals. We've got to correct all of that and stop it in that end and put it in that end, as Sir Alex Ferguson once reminded me. That's the job. I don't want to go down that road. I just think it's a really simple process that's made bitty. At the management, I'm telling you, the managers meeting before, when I was at Everton, I said clearly, why are you getting referees to talk to the crowd? Why? I don't understand. Referees have got enough on their plate. It's not natural for everyone to want to talk in front of 70,000 people, 40,000 people. It's not a natural thing. So why put them under that pressure when they've already got... I'm a big fan of referees, And they know it, I think. I'm a big fan. I always say the 3 hardest jobs in a stadium at any level is the 2 managers and the referee. They're the 3 hardest jobs for me in football currently. So I'm a big fan of referees, but why give them all this extra weight? I don't understand. Fan involvement. Why? I don't know. I'm a fan of football. I don't want to hear the referee. The best referees are when you don't hear them and they have a great game and you actually after the game go, did you know this referee? You go, no, not really. They're the best referees. They're the best referee in performances when you don't notice them. So why put the onus on them? No, I'm not challenging anything. I'm just telling you my opinion. I'm not challenging anything. I'm not saying I'm right about anything. It's only an opinion. It doesn't mean it's the right opinion. But I think I'm not far wrong. Because I think there's a lot of fans out there who go, well, yeah, actually, why? Why do we have to listen to the referee? Why does he keep walking over to the monitor? Keep talking about speeding it. Just take that away. But get that right today. That's more important. If I'm a fan, get the decision right. Don't worry about whether you're talking to us. Explain. What do I need a referee doing? I can't work it out. I really can't. I was worried. I'd be like, really? I don't want to talk to the fans on a loudspeaker. I have 70,000 people. They'd be like, oh. Are they suddenly public speaking? They're doing lessons now in public speaking. Think about it. It's just, not everyone is like that. Not everyone likes that, do they? We all know it in life. I can see you nodding. You're right, because not everyone's like that. Let the referee just referee. Why keep giving them more? Anyways.
Sean, these players have got quite a lot of stick the first part of the season. Two managers came and went, obviously. And in fact, a couple of them admitted that maybe some of that was justified. What sort of response you seen from them? Are you happy with them?
I've seen a very good response. I think they know we've already started our education on the physical side for my way of working, to be clear again. The stats, the facts, looking at some of their performances, but also some of the really good stuff. I think there's some talent here. I think the basis to work from is good. We'll still get injuries when them players come back as well. It's a big squad, but it's got some knowledge and some talent and some newness with the younger players. But whatever the mix is, you've got to win games, and that's the biggest challenge. We've got to change that, and we've already spoken to the stats from the past: clean sheets, goals scored. So there's a big job. It's not just like, oh well, there you go and crack on. It's not like that. It's a big job. But the signs are very, very clear, I think, with 2 out of 3 performances, certainly today and certainly against Porto. There's a group who are willing to work, to play as well, because we want to find that balance, and also to fight for the club, for the badge. I think there's been good signs of that.
And that goal line clearance at the end was quite spectacular, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
I mean, we were saying, actually, funny, the thing I am pleased about, we did ask questions, we did put the ball in the box more. We didn't do that against Bournemouth hardly at all, and we did today. And we scored 2 good goals for different reasons. A great header from Morgan, but also the bits from Sav, to be alive in the box. And we were explaining to him, ugly goals are still good goals. No one looks at the end of the season, they just look how many goals you scored. It doesn't have to be a classic every week. You don't have to smash it in the top corner every week. What about just scoring goals? And I think we've got to get that mentality. And I think it's improving. I think it's growing. And, as you said, the defensive side as well, to put yourself on the line.
Last one, please.
It was unlucky to go down 1-0 at half-time. I just wanted to know, what did you say to the players to get that quick?
So go and score 2. That'd be brilliant if you could. And they did. That's how easy management is. No joking about it. I just remind them and said, look, you've got the freedom to go before. So don't forget the goal, forget the decision. Don't worry about decisions. I call it no disappointments. Disappointments are for me after the game and for them after the game, not while it's active. So don't be disappointed. We go fresh half, fresh start, we go again. So I'm very pleased that they did. Right on the front foot, taking the game on straight away. Very pleased with that. And as I said, I wasn't displeased with the rest of the performance. It's just that human nature says as the game's come into a close, can we just see it through? The players are just a little bit good shape, just not quite fine. Apart from countering, which we did well, and of course they did that fantastically last season. There were some really good counters where we might have got something more, might have got the 3rd goal. But there's a lot of good signs over 2 out of 3 games. We've got to maintain and build on it, but there's some really strong signs of performances growing and improving, and that's key over the rest of the season.
Thank you.
I don't know yet. We're in tomorrow, so I'll get more of an assessment after tomorrow. Yeah, I haven't literally. I've spoken to the team, not the injured players or the medics, so I don't want to put words in their mouth without my knowing.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.